The S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, that is the discussion of the day. Now, going into this week, what did we tell you? Now, if you follow us on Twitter, then I kind of gave you a little bit of a rundown to start the day. Let me just give you a quick little visual. I always do this for you on Twitter now, Monday through Friday. You're welcome. So seeing strength in the open like we suspected. Can we hold 15,000? Also, major names we're watching: NVIDIA, Tesla, Meta, because those were heavily attacked and shorted to the downside. Focus on where we're at versus where you think we're going. Obviously, too, if you don't know, I'm going to give it to you straight. Thursday, PCE, probably the most important day of the next month or so, because it's going to dictate what we do with the next rate decision. Powell said and really emphasized this date. So again, the 31st. Must see forecast is 4.2. We want to see if this drops. If we continue to come in lower than expected, this will be very good news in my opinion, and it will it will push them to keep pause, in my opinion. Okay, but again, it's not really where I think we're going there, and I have a little bit more to talk about. Now, when we talk about NQ, what's happening here? Again. The reaction that we saw on Friday was telling. It was, to say the least, right? So we saw very similar action. If I go back, you can go basically from last Thursday, as you see right here, we saw that selling. Then immediately into Friday of last Friday, we saw buying happening back in the market. What did we see this past Thursday? We saw very similar action. We saw a lot of that selling kind of taking place here on the NASDAQ and ES, and then going into Friday, had that initial dip. But then, of course, guess what happens? Bounce, bounce, bounce. So, again, what we're looking at, what we're kind of expecting, and ultimately where we're at now. So, as we look at this market and as we look at where we're at and how we're moving, you look decent. Okay, again, I'm going to keep shooting to you straight. We zoom out to around the 4 hour. We've seen those lows that we have made going back to that key level, previous highs there. You can see you dipped down, you bounced, buyer showed up, and you are making higher lows out of that range, even considering the dip that we had from Jackson Hole. Bouncing back up. Okay, ES. A little bit of a better chart here, in my opinion, right? So we zoom out, we go to something like the daily, we zoom, you can see here, you're finding support and you are making higher lows as well here. Another decent thing to be paying attention to, okay? Now, what everyone's talking about is going to be SPY and QQQ. Because when we look here at like the 4 hour chart, it is, and I see it, I know. I've seen all your favorite influencers. They're all saying it. You got your old shoulder, your head of Ruski, and then your shoulder forming out here. So I see it. I acknowledge it, but I am not short right now, right? Why? What is going to dictate the downside continuation? What was the thing that Powell said would be the ultimate driver of continued rate hikes or causing pressure on the economy? PCE being the main one, then CPI. PCE is this Thursday. We've seen gas prices start to go up, and I think PCE could not be the best thing for us. I do agree. We'll get to gas prices and what's happening with the economics of the dollar and yields. But when we look at this, we have to pay attention. But I do, and I am very much under the understanding that I do believe people are trying to push too heavy into the short side here, playing too much into the pattern. And I'm not a fan of when everyone's doing it. I don't like to do it. So that's big for me. So when I look here at SPY, when I look here at NQ, my train of thought here is, especially when we look at something like NVIDIA and some of these other names, I see the potential for continuation on NVIDIA, continuation on Tesla, for continuation on all these equities. Because not only with something like NVIDIA, you had fantastic. Those earnings were beautiful. Chef's kiss, the Ratatouille, the ending of Ratatouille. When he makes it and it's beautiful and the chef kind of tears up, that's NVIDIA's earnings. And that's where you're at right now. So again, before we go into anything else, I have to ask you to do two things. Consider liking and subscribing. It helps with the channel tremendously, and I appreciate you, right? Try to give you as much free content as possible. If you are subscribed to the newsletter, the link is down below, but it went out Friday, so you have the whole game plan for the week. If you do want to take that next step and, try to get a little bit of hand-holding, understand what we're doing throughout the day, why I'm not trading, when I'm trading, what trades I'm looking to take all throughout the day as well, the Discord link may be for you. But again, never full pressure because, again, we always have free content for you and prepared for you. So, again, expectations going forward. Expectations until Thursday are very controlled, very, very passive here. I'm not jumping the gun. I'm not YOLOing. I'm not hammering calls just yet. I'm foot on the brake, a little bit passive here, right? Now, I do believe we have upside potential into basically Wednesday, end of the day Wednesday. You'll probably see action slow down or hedging into PCE data. But I do believe there's more upside right now in the short term than there is for downside. Again, what are we looking at here? For just to get a viewpoint of that, just can we continue to make higher lows right here? And you did end up making a higher high out of this short-term downtrend. So you did break out of the little trend and got back up. That's good to see there. Now, we also saw some things, and I'm going to talk a little bit about equities before we go any further here, so just follow me. So number one, top names I liked, again, I mentioned them on Twitter: Tesla, Nvidia, Meta. Boom, boom, boom. It's all there for you. Nvidia, and if you watch the video from Friday, then you know all my levels. Nvidia, we need to get above 464. Very interesting start to the day. We open up at 464, instantly reject, back down to 650. Now, all you bears out there, I'm about to say this right now, pay close attention to this level right here. Quickly, we'll go to the 15-minute. I don't want to waste too much time, but you can see we basically had this level where we kind of gapped up on the 18th, consolidated, went up. So around 454, 450, massive support now. You can see retesting it over and over and over, bouncing out of it. Someone in Discord was like, hey, should we go short? I'm like, dude, did you not read the newsletter, right? I'm telling you guys, the newsletter is giving you the sauce. You mount 464 into the end of the day, you look really good. As long as you're above 464, I think bulls have a real shot at pushing this back into roughly 480. Again, kind of a conservative target, but still I like it. Very illiquid in this range as well, specifically when you get above 472. So probably target number one to be safe, 472, then 480. That's what you're looking at there. Tesla, the story here is 240. Again, this has been all over my Twitter as well. Tesla, pretty easy trade this morning if you were interested. Also do want to mention as well, shout out Big Coop in Discord. Coop has been absolutely destroying it, right? Go in here, look at her. She said, watch list, it's all I need. 240 puts, 237.5, absolutely printed, right? What do you see right there? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, over and over rejection, and then pushing down to around 235. So congratulations if you caught this move right here. But again, for the upside thesis, you want to mount 240. That's what you want to see there. Last up, Meta. I absolutely love these guys still. Again, if you hold 289, a lot of chop today. Not a good action day on Meta. Back and forth, back and forth. But you still are making those higher lows. You have to respect it. Clearly making them, right? Clearly. Breaking off 289. I'm looking, if you continue to hold 290, 289 with this upward momentum, I'm looking for a push back into 297, 298, short term 295. But again, Meta contracts move very good, moving very strong. I love where we're at. Like it. Meta, one of my top names, just because it's been so easy to trade lately. Keep them on your radar. Microsoft, also a big fan here, but they're not on my top list right now. But what I will say, Microsoft's been held down, been probably one of the more bearish names for too long now. And Microsoft, you're getting back above 322. The longer you stay above this, the more bullish I become. So again, as long as you're above 322, I'm looking for upside, and you're holding above VWAP as well. Okay, big things we're looking for. Really love this name. Very strong. I got to mention Apple as well. Just have to. Again, what have we been looking for here? 177 hold, got back up, held 178.5, got back up. Now you're breaking 180. They are going to be announcing the new iPhone very soon. If they integrate anything to do with AI, I do believe Apple has a chance to break 52, or actually all-time highs. I'm sorry. Again, you people are calling me mega bull, mega this, mega that. Well, look, I got this hat right here, buddy. Look, but it's not time to put it on yet. Okay, it's not time yet. It's just not time. When we get PCE data, we'll come back to that hat. But until then, I encourage you guys, be very passive here. Just be passive, be conservative. The opportunity will come. Now, last up, what we're going to mention, really quick video here on the day. The dollar, DXY, still very interesting, still very concerning, right? So we had that bull flag we talked about above the 200 SMA. You bounced up, you pushed up, you moved into almost 104.6. Massive level there. Very big, right? Very big. But again, could see some downside here. Go into the 2-year, at highs. 5-year, at highs. 10-year, at highs. 30-year, dipping down. We're seeing a little bit of a correlation, right? They're all at highs. Again, yields are going to stay here. They're going to be kind of flat. They might chop back and forth into Thursday. If PCE doesn't do well and comes in higher than expected, yields will shoot up because we'll start pricing in a 0.25 hike almost immediately. Rate hikes are not priced in yet for this next meeting in September. I'm telling you right now. PCE will do the job on dictating if those rate hikes will get priced in. If we come out flat, it's up in the air. I still think if we come in flat, they'll price in a rate hike. As long as you come in lower than expected, in my opinion, rates will be paused for September. If you come out at expectations or higher, you will price in a hike. That's my opinion, and that's ultimately where I stand. I can't make that any more simple, anything like that. Let's go through really quick some of the flow on the day as well. And I think the story of today was calls. I think, actually, no, one more name here, guys. I'm so sorry. AMD. AMD leaps. Big fan. Big fan. I told you guys back here before NVIDIA earnings near 105, I told you something simple. If you grab the 90s for January 2025 and you grabbed the 150s for 2025 as a strangle, you'd probably make money. I'm just telling you, they made money. Even if you held both of them this entire time, the puts would be outweighing the calls. I'm just letting you know. Now, you can't play a strangle by playing one side of the trade. You can't just play calls. You can't just play puts. That's not how the trade works. Anyways, you could have max profited, sold that morning after NVIDIA's earnings at 111, and then you could have held the puts down into lows until it gave you a signal to sell. But it doesn't matter. AMD here. I love it dated. I do. I still say I stand by it. I think AMD is one of the most undervalued companies. And if I got to put a hat on for anything, long-term AMD, big fan, big bull, big bull. And I'm not talking about, don't even get me started. So that's what we're looking at. That's my opinion. If you have questions, comment down below. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, traders.